In this course, I'll show you the complete AI filmmaking workflow I personally use, from generating story ideas and writing screenplays to creating storyboard, designing consistent characters, and producing professional AI films from start to finish. Hi, if you want to learn about how to create AI film, then this particular tutorial is for you. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you exactly how you can create a professional looking AI film and all the creative process you need to follow when creating your own AI film. So let's get started. So this is going to be a very detailed tutorial about the full breakdown of AI filmmaking, and I'm going to show you everything you needed to get started. So let's start from the first thing, that's understanding AI film breakdown. And the first thing I want you to understand is that AI film is broken down into 4 different phases. And before we continue to those phases, I want to actually explain what AI film is. Now, AI film is just your film, your normal film, a film you generated with AI. So it's basically AI generated movies, AI generated film. So they are basically content, videos you generated with AI. Now let's continue with AI film breakdown. Now, AI film is broken down into three different phases. The first phase is development phase, and the second phase is pre-production, while the third phase is production, and the last phase, which is fourth phase, is distribution. And for this tutorial, we are going to go over these 3 phases, which is the development phase, the pre-production phase, and production phase. And these are the things that we needed to get started in AI filmmaking. So let's start from the development phase. And before we get started to the development phase, I want to show you a workflow that we'll be using in this tutorial. And this is a very complete workflow that will walk you through everything concerning your AI film production. So it will break down everything, it will walk you through everything. Is a good workflow that I've given to several content creators, several filmmakers, and they have been so positive about it. So I'm also sharing it in this tutorial. Make sure you download the document in the description of this video. So this is a document here that you can use. Is a complete AI filmmaking pipeline, and this is what I'll be using for this tutorial. So it contains every pipeline for creating our AI filmmaking use of Kling 3.0, Cdance 2.0. You can also use it with VO 3.0, and for this tutorial, I'll be using it on VO 3.0. So it's a complete one. Make sure you download it, and you can actually, I also have the MD document also, which you can download and actually upload to your ChatGPT before you start generating. You can just click on upload and then add the MD document in here. And after adding the MD document, then you can proceed to working through. But for this tutorial, I'll be making use of Claude, and I have Claude skill also for that. So let me reiterate that again. So basically, I have 3 different documents that you can download, 3 different files you can download. The first file is this Word document. So this is the Word document. You can actually download these, copy each prompt and paste it in your GPT. Then you can start generating one after the other. Then the second one is a skill. Is an MD file, the one I uploaded to ChatGPT. So instead of adding prompt, instead of manually typing the prompt, you can actually attach this MD document to your GPT. Then the GPT will process it. It will build context out of it. Then you can proceed to generating everything you want using that MD file. That's the second approach. And the third approach is using a Claude skill. So with this Claude skill, you don't need anything so complicated. All you have to do is to go to the sidebar, click on customize, then click on skill, and then click on this plus icon and create a new skill, then upload the skill. So you can upload the skill document. You can have it in .md.skill or .zip. So you can have it in all those 3 file formats. So you upload, and after you've uploaded, you can see I already have mine uploaded here. Then you will have the skill workflow added to your Claude. Then after you've gotten all those, regardless of the kind of GPT model you are using, I have the 3 file format that works with all of them. So make sure you download either of them. And for this, just like I said earlier, I'll be making use of Claude because yes, it has been a very perfect one for me. So now it's very simple. So to get started with the development phase, it's as simple as ABC. All you have to do is to type, I want to create an AI film. Now, assuming you already have the idea of what you want to create, you can paste the idea and tell Claude that you want to create an AI film using this particular idea or so, and it will actually understand what you're trying to say. But here, I don't have any idea ready, so I will be starting from scratch. So I'll just say I want to create an AI film, and then I click on enter. So before clicking on enter, make sure you choose your model. You can choose any model you want. We have the Opus 4.8, the Sonnet 4.6, the iQOO 4.5, and regardless of the models you are going with, I will always advise you to toggle on this extended so that it will use deep reasoning. It will always reason before giving you result. So that being said, click on enter, and then Claude will now start thinking and understanding. Now, one thing I want you to understand is that it actually pick the workflow we want to use because it understands that we are trying to create an AI film. So it pick the workflow necessary for that. So you don't have to manually enter slash particular workflow. But assuming you have several AI filmmaking workflow, so you can actually use slash, then you use the workflow you want to make use of. So that being said, so Claude will now give you several questions. So the first question it will bring out is the duration. So you can choose any duration you want to work with. So here, let's go with 5 to 15 minutes, and then it will ask for the genre that's interested. So for the genre, I will click on drama. So you can choose anyone, as you know, I've been building action film and the likes. So for this particular tutorial, I will be using the drama approach. So let's click on drama. Then what's your starting point? So where do you are in your whole ideation? And here it pop up several questions. Like the first one is I have a full idea, the second one is I have a rough idea that needs developing, and the third one is I need ideas generated. Then the fourth one is not sure, help me explore. So now we have all these questions, and depending on what you have, take for example, you already have the idea, the perfect idea in your head, you can choose that you have the idea. But if you just have a rough idea of what you are working with, you can choose I have a rough idea. And if you don't need anything, if you don't have any idea, you need idea, you can say I need ideas generated, and it will generate idea for you. But if you don't have anything, you are not sure, you want to explore several options, you can click on this fourth one. So let's just click on the fourth one and let's explore. So for the video model we are using, I don't want to use Kling 3.0 here or Cinema 3.0. I want to use the free model so that everybody will follow through. So I will say VO 3.1. So let's go with VO 3.1, and then you can now continue. Okay, Claude will now start thinking, and yes, it's now give me several ideas because I said I want ideas which I can explore. So it gives me 5 drama ideas. So the first one is a woman returns to her childhood home to scatter her mother's ashes only to discover a letter revealing a secret sibling she never knew existed. Then the second one is 2 former best friends run into each other at the grocery store years after falling out, and their conversation forces both to confront what they lost. So we have all these different ideas, and you can pick any one you want. So you can pick anyone you want. If you don't like this, you can also tell it to generate different ideas for you. So yeah, let me just choose the first one. So I will say I am going with the first idea. With the first idea. Then you click on enter and wait for it to start working on your idea. So now, after it has developed the idea, it goes straight to stage 2, which is the film concept. So it now broke the idea. The idea, which is a single sentence, is now being developed. That is why I call this the development phase of your AI film. It now start developing the idea into a film concept. So here we have the concept. The concepts include the logline, the genre and tones, the synopsis, the main characters. So we have these 4 different characters: Sarah Jane, Margaret Jane, David, and Tom. We have this, we have the settings, we have the conflict, and we have the ending. So it's perfect. These are the perfect concepts that you can, it's the perfect concepts that you needed. So it now asks for your adjustments. If you need to adjust 1 or 2 things like the title, the characters, the tones on the or the ending. So if you want to adjust anything, you can do that. And for me, I'll just adjust. I will leave the title as the letter and adjust the characters because I don't want this generic name. So we have Sarah Chen, Margaret Chen. So I can just change the name. So I can say change Sarah Chen to, so I can just say change Sarah Chen to Maria Chen. So I can just say Maria Chen, then Sarah, then Margaret Chen. Margaret Chen to, let's just use another word, another name. So we can just say Elizabeth Chen, and then you can continue. So I'm just showing you that you can easily edit all these things. You can easily edit. So as you can see now, it now starts updating the film concept and now give us the same concept but with different name. And this is the name that is going to continue with. So with this kind of approach, you can also change things like the story, the synopsis, the things you don't want to be included in the log line, the things you want to change in the synopsis and the likes. So that's the beauty of this. So now, after we are through with that, so we can now continue to stage 3, which is the story structure. So yeah, we just say continue to stage 3. So now you can either say continue to stage 3 or type in continue. And what this now does is that it now starts breaking, it now start developing the concepts. So it converts the concepts into a structured story. Now this structured story is broken down into several acts, and let's wait for Claude to give us all those acts. So we have act 1, act 2, and act 3. So just like I said earlier, it's now organizing it into different acts. So different acts, it started preparing it and breaking it into different acts. So we have act 1, act 2, and act 3. And for each act, we have several scenes. So for each act, we have several scenes. We have scene 1, scene 2, scene 3, scene 4, scene 5, scene 6, scene 7. So we have all these scenes up to scene 9, which is perfect. And that being said, let me quickly explain something for you. For AI film is broken down into different structure. We have into different hierarchy. Let me place it that way, into different hierarchy. At the highest hierarchy, we have the sequence. At the middle hierarchy, we have the scene, and at the lowest hierarchy, we have the shot. Now, a shot is the smallest unit of a film. regardless of it being an AI generated film or a normal film. So a short is the lowest hierarchy of any film. So it's just your clip, a clip you generated, and all those clips will be combined together. So every film you are seeing is being created in short. Every film you are seeing, regardless of it being an AI film, AI generated film, or a normal film, they are being generated in short. And a short can be 5 seconds, 10 seconds, 15 seconds, or even 20 seconds. So a short can be of those duration. That's why you see most AI models going between 8 to 15 seconds. That's the maximum you can see for every AI video generator. They go between 8 seconds to 15 seconds. Some even go far below, like 5 or 6 seconds. Using Grok Imagine to be around 6 seconds of video. So they go from 6 to 15 seconds, showing you that they are short. And when you combine all those shots together, different shots in a scene, when you combine all those shots together, they make up a scene. So multiple shots make up a scene. Then a multiple scenes make up a sequence. Then a multiple sequence make up your film. Now let me show you that in this. So here we have the film broken down into several acts. For acts 1, we have this scene. Now inside this scene 1, we have multiple shots in there. So those multiple shots, it can be, so later in this video you will see us generating all those shots, because for AI filmmaking you are working with shots. For every filmmaking you are working with shots, so you will see us generating shots. Now for that, for scene 1 will comprise of several shots. So then scene 2 also will comprise of several shots. So multiple shots make up scene 1, multiple shots make up scene 2, multiple shots make up scene 3. Now when you combine all these shots together, or all these scenes together rather, scene 1, scene 2, scene 3, they make up act 1, and this act 1 is a sequence. So that's why I said at the highest hierarchy we have a sequence. So we have all this being a sequence. Then inside those sequence we have a scene. Inside the scene we have a shot. That being said, so when you combine this sequence 1, that's act 1, act 2, act 3, sequence 1, sequence 2, sequence 3. Then when you combine everything together, they make up your film. So this is the exact approach every film follow. So every film you've been watching, every movies you've been watching, they follow this basic approach. And so far you've understand that it has been a game changer for you. So it will definitely be a game changer for you. So again, we have this broken down. So that being said, let's continue to the next part. So the next part here is now character Bible. And even before going to character Bible, if you have anything in your structure, in your scene structure, in your film structure, if you have anything you can actually edit, tell it to change 1 or 2 things you don't like there. But for me, I'll be going with these because I think they are okay to work with. And then I will now say continue. So with this, it will now continue to stage 4, which is character Bible. And for this character Bible is simply a single source of truth for every character in your film. Now, what this actually does is that it describes each characters in your film. So it describes them, it describes the attributes, their physiques, their physique, how they look, their location, nationalities, and everything. It describes the characters basically. The character Bible basically describes the character, and that's all you need. So it describes the characters, every characters you needed in your film. And here you can also adjust it. You can adjust everything for the character. You can adjust their history, the motivation, the arc. You can adjust things you think is needed. So what this basically do is that you are basically collaborating with Claude. So it's asking you what you feel. It's asking for your opinion. So you can tell it your opinion, and it will edit it to fit into your story. That's all you need. Then I will just leave this at that because I don't want to waste much time, because it's going to be a very long video, because I will also be showing you how you can edit your film, how you edit your film, you combine all those shots together to make up a cool scene, and then how you can proceed from that. So then if you like everything being generated, then you can continue to the next stage, which is plot outline. So I'll just say continue. So continue to plot outline. You can even say continue. It's as simple as that, because the workflow understand the next phase of the pipeline. So you can just type continue, and then it will continue to the plot outline. So here it now broke the whole story, the whole thing into different outline. So it broke it down to several outline, and even adding beats so that you can have some critical things. So also the key dialogue in that particular scene, in that particular shot or scene. So here we are not in shot yet, so it's still working in plot. So we are yet to write our script, and all of this is still at the development phase of our film making. So now the plot is done here. So 8 key point plot here, which is actually good. So most film make use of either 5 or 8 key point plot, and they are good. So now I will now continue to screenplay. So I'll just type in continue, and then it will start generating our screenplay, which contains our script. And this will be the end of development phase. So just like I said earlier, we have the development phase, we have the pre-production phase, and we have the production phase. So now we are going to the second phase, which is the pre-production phase. So let's wait for our screenplay to be generated. So we have our screenplay perfectly generated. So we have the screenplay perfectly generated, and yeah, it's good. It contains the environment. You can see the author, so you can edit the author. You can add your name here as the author. You can see it contains the location, that's interior int dot Maria. So it's the interior of Maria's car on a driveway. So we have everything. We have the characters, the location, that's the settings included, which is perfect. So you can download this, you can copy, you can either download, copy, or even add to your Google Doc, depending on what you feel will work better for you. So let me just close this, and then we can continue to the next phase, which is pre-production phase. So for at this pre-production phase, we have several stages. So here at the 7th stage, here we have the visual language design. So let's just say continue. So now we continue to the visual language, and this visual language will define the cinematography, the color palettes, the camera language, and the overall aesthetic of the film. So the overall aesthetic of the film, how the film looks, and this is very important because most things I notice in most AI film is that the color grading, the color combination in several shots differs. And in this workflow, in this masterclass, this workflow I'm showing you will actually solve that particular problem. All of your film will follow the same color structure, it will follow the same color palette, the same camera usage, camera type, the same overall aesthetic. They will feel like a continuous shot. And that is why it is very important to describe your visual language, so that every shot will understand the visual language you are working with. So you can see now we have our overall aesthetic, we have the color palette which it will be using. So for different acts, it's change the temperature, the dominant, the referencing and everything. They are very perfect. And yes, it includes the cinematography and camera movement, the kind of camera lenses it will use. So it includes all those, the lighting strategy and the rules, the motifs, everything. And they're perfect. So that being said, let's continue to the next phase of our AI theme. So which is the short list. Let's see, continue to stage 8. So let's continue to stage 8. So now it's now continue to stage 8, which is short list. And what this actually does is that it break every scene into the individual shot as a production blueprint. So you can click on this and you will see how they are being generated. So you see everything being generated one after the other inside Claude. So all it's basically simple. All you have to do is to wait for it to generate the shot list. So you have your shots, the camera type, the framing, the camera movement, and the emotional arc for that particular shot, and also the duration, which is very important. So and also the duration, it's very important, and you should wait for a few seconds. It wouldn't take much time before it's generated. So now we have the short list generated. So you can go through the short list. We have all those shots, the type of shot, just like I said, the framing, the composition, the camera. So you can see here's the static. You also have the duration, technical, and everything. So this will be a blueprint when we are now generating our video prompt. So this particular short list will now be the blueprint for generating our video prompt. So then after we've generated our short list, we're now going to proceed to reference sheet generation. So I'll just say continue to stage 6. So stage 9 rather. So stage 9 is for generating our reference sheet. So now it will now start generating prompts for both location and both characters, location, and props. So it will generate an image prompt for all of them. So you can check how they are being generated one after the other. We have the prompts for each characters, so that you can now copy all those prompts for your image generator. And if you don't want to go through the stress of generating the grid reference sheet for every character, I will also show you another approach. I will show you the approach you can use in generating the reference images for your characters, location, and props. Now let's wait for this to the prompt list to be generated. All we have to do is just to wait for it. Let's wait a few seconds for it to be generated, and after that you can now proceed to our asset generation. So you can just copy the prompt, character 1, copy the prompt. So sorry, for character 1, just copy the prompt. Yes, copy the prompt for character 1. So for Maria Chain, copy the prompts, then go to lab.google.fx/choose/flow. So basically we are going to Google Flow. That's just it. We're going to Google Flow, then create a new project. So you create a new project and then make sure toggle off agent. So here just click it and toggle it off, then click on this and switch from video to image. Then for your aspect ratio, choose 16:9. Then for the image model, you can either use Nano Banana Pro or Nano Banana 2. So let's just go with Nano Banana Pro here. Then this is actually free. Then you paste the prompt in here and you click on generate. Then you need to start generating for the first character. Then for second character, I'll just copy the prompt for the second character also. So I'll copy the second prompt for the second character. Then go back to flow, paste the prompts here again, click on enter again for the next character, David. Just copy for the character. So I'll just copy the prompts. Just copy for the character again, copy for the character, go back to flow, paste the prompts here, and click on generate. Then for the location reference, also repeat the same thing for the location reference. And so you repeat the same thing for the location reference, copy, paste in here. So that is for approach 1 for generating your asset. So that's the first approach for generating your asset, your AI film. So with this, you can reference this character so you can have a consistent character in your film. And that's the first approach. Then the second approach is very is very similar to this, but a little bit faster. And here, let's just go back and create a new project. So you go back to flow, create a new project. So you create a new project, then go to tools, select tools, and then search for storyboard. So you should search for storyboard under prompting. You see Storyboard Studio. Click on Storyboard Studio by Google and select it. So after it has been selected, you wait for it to be loaded. So wait for it to be loaded. And this approach also, you can generate your assets directly from this using this particular approach. So here we have realistic. You can choose any storyboard style you want to create. So we have 3D animation, charcoal, glimmer, concept, sketch, or realistic. So I'm going with realistic and click on get started. And we have 3 different stages here. We have the stage 1 script, stage 2 assets, stage 3 storyboard, and the genesis of everything starts from this particular stage, which is script. So start from script, and I will be using my script. So I'll close this and then click on this file icon. So click on this files icon and I will go to my screenplay. So this screenplay, which is my script, then I will copy it. So I will copy the screenplay, then go back to Google Flow and paste the prompts. And paste the screenplay here, which is a script. I'll paste the old script here. And with this, if you now go to the second stage, it will automatically dictate the characters present. So you can see here we have the first character, Marian Chen, Tom, David, and we have 4 characters here. If you check the story earlier, you have 4 characters here. Then Elizabeth, we have all those characters. Then we also have the location. We have the Maria's car, driveway, Chen's house. We also have the props. So the props are the things they are holding. So we have everything here: the props, the the cardboard, the photographs, the hospital bracelet, envelope, letter, everything. And now for you to generate the whole asset easily, instead of copying the prompts one after the other, you can also easily generate the whole asset using this as quick as possible. All you have to do is to click on autofill for the characters. You click on autofill for location, to click on autofill for props, and then you wait a few seconds for their reference images to be generated. So while waiting for our reference images to be generated, let's continue inside Claude. So I'm coming back later to this. I will show you the next step in here, but then let's continue to the next phase. So let's close this, then let's continue to video short prompts. Now, if you've seen some of my previous video where I'm talking about image to video generation, where you need to start frame, there are some steps which I jump at here, which is your storyboard prompt, and you can actually generate that inside Flow directly with the same concepts in here which I showed you earlier. You can generate that with that same concept, but I'm jumping those process because I'm focusing on text to video. It has been a game changer for me recently because now I can easily describe the environment, reference the character, and allow the model to actually generate a very realistic videos. So instead of using image to video, I'm now using text to video, because in the time past, text to video is very difficult because of consistency issue. But with the newer models with omni references, you can now reference the assets, that's the characters, the location, and also the props. Then you get a continuous and detailed shot with consistent characters, which is the approach I will be showing you in this particular film. So that being said, so I'll just say proceed. So I want to proceed to the next stage, which is the video shot. So which is the video prompts. So it will now generate a list of short prompts, a list of video prompts which we'll be using. So let's wait for it to be generating that video prompt. Now let's go back to Google Flow and see our assets being generated. So here we have all our characters. You can see they are very realistic. Now for character 1, this is Maria Chen. So we have Maria Chen being generated. So if you don't like this character, you can easily click on it. You can easily click on regenerate and it will regenerate the character. We also have this character Tom. So Tom is also very perfect, very realistic. So you can go with this particular character. We also have David. It's also good. It's looking good. A little bit chubby. Yeah, it's looking good. Then we have Elizabeth Chen. So she's also perfect. So if you don't want any of the character, you can easily regenerate the character. And then for the location, these are perfect. We have the car. It's a very good car. So we have the exterior view of the car, interior. We have this reference image that you can use whenever we are talking about the character. Whenever we have our character inside the car, we are going to reference this particular car as our location. Then we have this driveway. It's also perfect, so you can use this. We have the house, the Chen's house. They're perfect. We have the kitchen, the different rooms in the house kitchen. You have the garden. We have the Chen's house ethics. We also have the props. These are the things they are holding, the object, the items in the film. So we have this pot, this all. We have this cardboard box. We have the photographs, these bracelets, this letter, the record. So everything is perfect for this film. And yes, they are perfect. We have the laptop. So these are the things. Now using this, we can now build consistency across our film. So all we just need to do is to reference each of these assets when we are generating. Take for example, we want to generate and we have two characters, like we have is Elizabeth and Chen in a particular shot. All we have to do is to reference both Elizabeth and Chen. Then reference the environment. Take for example, they are inside the house. You reference the house. Then the object present, you also reference it, and then you add you will add your video generation prompt, and then you generate, and you have that consistent characters and consistent environment in your film. So after that, all of these would have been saved to your media. You can go to media and you will find all the assets there. If you are still going with the image to video generation approach, then you can also generate every scene here. I have a detailed tutorial about storyboarding with Google Flow. So now what I needed basically here was my assets, and they are done. So you can check it here at the media. You find all the assets here, so you can easily reference all the assets. So I go back to Storyboard Studio and click on done. So I'm done with my asset generation. I have all my assets ready inside Google Flow, which I can use for my video generation. So now let's go back here inside Claude. Now if you check this, sometimes the model start waiting. Sometimes the model can actually not give you a detailed prompt the way you want. So I don't see a detailed prompt in here, so I'll just continue again and tell it to give me a detailed prompt. So I'll just say give me detailed prompt for each shot. So give me a detailed video prompt for each shot and break into batches if it is too long. So I want to break it into batches because sometimes if you are working with a long form video like this, the modem might not want to generate everything at a time, and even sometimes it will burn your credit. So yeah, I would try to break it into batches if it's too long. So I'll just say that. So I'll send that, and then to now start generating these prompts. So you start generating those prompts. So all you just have to do is to wait for the prompt to be generated, so you can continue to the video generation process. And that leads us to our production phase. So just like I said earlier, we have the pre-production, we have the production. So the production is where we now start generating our shots. Then after that, we edit our shots, combine them together, and that will make up our film. So now we already have the prompt generated here, and the next thing you just want to do is to copy the prompt. So all you have to do is to copy a prompt and generate. So while waiting, because I had to stop recording and continue my recording. So I was able to generate some of the clip, some of the shots. So I was able to generate some of the shots here, and then let me now show you how you can also generate yours. It's very simple. All you have to do here is to make sure this agent is toggled off. Then you will have an opportunity to select video. So then here you want to note your duration. The duration here is 5 seconds, so I'll be using 6 seconds in here. So since the duration is 5 seconds and using Omni Flash, we can select 8 seconds. So I'll select 6 seconds. And also, yes, just like I said, I'm using Omni Flash for this video because it's Google's latest model. So I'm selecting Omni Flash. Then select video, then make sure you are not using frame. Switch to ingredient, because if you use frame, you need a start frame, and we are not using start frame, we are using reference. So all you have to do is to toggle on this ingredient. This ingredient is more like you are using an omni reference. You are referencing the characters, you are referencing characters, environment, and props during your generation. So with that, you will have a consistent and a fluid scene. Then for the aspect ratio, go with 16:9. That is landscape. Also, if you want to go for reels, you can go with 9:16. But for me here, I'm going with 16:9. Then after that, yes, choose your duration, 6 seconds. Then that's for that. All you have to do now is to now reference the character and the environment. So for the character, I would just say use. So make sure it's as simple as this. This is what you are going to be repeating throughout your whole video generation, regardless of the model you are using. Even if you are using Sedans 2.0, you are following almost the same approach. This basic approach is what you will still do. So all you have to do is to type use, then at So using art, when you type art, you are not trying to call out the image you want to reference. So use art. I will type Maria chain. So I will select Maria chain here as then Maria chain again. So I'm basically telling it to use the image of Maria Chain as a character reference sheet for Maria Chain. Then again, I will use shift and enter together so that I can have an option to type. The cursor will go down. Then again, I will say use at house. So this is the image. So I'm using the exterior view of the house as environment reference. Then again, shift enter. The last reference we are using for that particular scene is the car. Use at car. So we have the car image selected as car. Then shift enter again. Now I will paste the prompt here, then click on send. So you should wait for a few seconds for the image to be generated. So this is a free way you can actually generate your videos. So now you now have the video. You can see this is perfect. Now the video is perfect. So you can now download the video. Click on download, and yes, it's now saved to your device, and you can now proceed to editing. All you have to do now is to import all your clip, all your shots into CapCut. So I'm using CapCut here. All you have to do, click on import, then add all your clip in CapCut, and after that you click on this plus icon to add them to the timeline. After everything has been added to timeline, then you can play over it again, and yes, you can see how cool they all are. So you can see it's almost perfect, and I'll show you two different issue here and how you can actually fix this. Now if you notice that when we are switching the shots, there's this kind of sound changes from shot to shot, and I'll show you how to fix that. This approach is what filmmakers use, and this is what they call J&L cut. Now what this simply means is that let me give you a very pictorial example here. I already have a tutorial about this on my channel. You can watch it, but let me just give you a brief example. Now we have shot 1, we have shot 2, shot 1, shot 2. So I want to be hearing the audio of shot 2, even though the video, we are trying to end the video of shot 1. So while shot 1 is still playing, we want to hear the audio of shot 2, and to do that, all you have to do here is to put this cursor somewhere around here, and then split this clip into 2. So we have 1 and the second part. Let me zoom it in. We have the part 1 and the part 2 of shot 1. So I will drag this part 2 over. So I will drag it over to shot 2. So I will drag it over to shot 2. Keep it here. Then if you play it now, can you see how the scene continue? So now with this kind of approach, you'll be able to bridge that inconsistency issue. You break that issue of inconsistency that's been solved with this kind of approach. The same thing here. So split this into 2. So split into 2, then drag it over to the next shot, and then if you play this again, split this into 2, the ending part, drag it over to the next shot, and there you have it. Consistent character, consistent film. So that's how you generate your own AI film and how you can start creating your first AI film with high realism level and also with almost perfect representation of your idea. So guys, if this video has actually helped you, please subscribe to this channel. I'll be dropping more updates, more tutorial, in-depth tutorial like this that will actually help you in creating your next AI film. And if you have any question, use the comment section. So guys, that's been a long day, so see you on my next video. Lights out.